when you hear the expression, God, I wonder what these streets would say if they could talk, Sarasota Street Talk is making the streets talk, and we're recording what they're saying. So that, to me, that is what Sarasota Street Talk is all about.
Sarasota Street Talk is to introduce people of the surroundings.
We're literally right now, we're downtown Sarasota, and we hear people all around us telling different stories. Those are the streets talking.
Scott,
Mark,
how are you?
I'm doing great today.
Down here at the Bazaar, Apricot and Lime,
Apricot
located at Apricot and Lime.
Of course.
And here, and normally, and it's considering, each one of these episodes we're putting up here is we have each special guests here, and each one's going to be interviewed individually.
Right.
So we just kind of, let everyone know what's going on here. Yeah. So we're at the Bazaar at Apricot and Lime. There is a gathering of non-for-profits here.
Special event.
Kim
Living Good is
Kim Living Good is the savant here that makes this all happen.
So the people that come visit can learn about 10 different nonprofits and what they do.
Yeah, and all fantastic organizations. You can just learn about it all one time and still go inside. I believe the crafts are still right. They're still inside, so they can go inside. Yeah. I'd like to warn all our guests though to please be careful about these deadly bubbles that are coming in. So we have an asteroid field of bubbles.
We got goggles. We're handing out goggles to people.
We should. They should sign a waiver or something.
Killer bubbles.
But we have.
So, anyways, we have our first vendor per se.
Special guest
for non-for-profits. We're going to let you introduce yourself and tell us about your non-for-profit.
Hi.
And really uncomfortably close to that mic. I'm sorry. You got to
Are we
really
talking
like it.
Okay now?
You're good right
if you want to
there,
move it closer to you, if it's okay.
Like that.
Yeah, right there.
Like
that. How you doing?
With the microphone.
Or if you want those guys, you
want to raise it up a little bit?
What's her name? You see that Swift lady, Taylor Swift? She's like that when she's up singing.
Taylor who?
Whatever.
I don't even know who she is. I don't know who she is.
So yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Well, thank you for inviting me to come over and talk. I'm Rita Miotti. I'm the vice president of Friends of the Legacy Trail Board.
Oh, awesome. I want questions for you. No, questions for you. I love Legacy.
He's all over that.
Yeah. No. I didn't know I knew who was going to be here, but not in what order.
Right. And we're the Friends of the Legacy Trail. Of course, the trail itself is owned by Sarasota County, but we're a friends group. We raise funds to do projects that they don't have in the budget. Something comes up and they don't have the funds for it. We also provide them with funding for matching grants. We were really behind the idea of an upcoming improvement to the newer section of the trail where they're going to have an adjacent trail built in some of the busier areas of the new extension area. That'll allow people to be walking their dogs and pushing their buggies and so forth and not contending with fast-moving bicycles on the trail.
Yeah.
We were very, very involved in the referendum issue that was in 2018 that got the funding for this trail. We felt and took our time to go out to every event that would have us come and talk with them, educate individuals on the referendum, what it meant to see something on a ballot said, yes or no on $65 million of bonds that they wanted to issue in order to make that project go. What we had to do, or what we did successfully, I believe, is explain to people how that affected their tax bill individually. And that was what it worked out to be. As an average home is assessed at about $250,000 in Sarasota. Of course, there are many that are more than that.
Sure.
But an average home would see an increase of about $16 per year for that trail extension. And in 2018, that referendum passed by 71% of the vote.
I'd imagine,
awesome.
Yeah, which was really kind of a mandate. And I think the county recognized that at the time, that that meant that really people wanted to get this done. They had the okay on issuing bonds. They moved forward. When we started talking about that project, we were saying it was going to be open in 24 or 25. And they had it completely opened by 22. So that was a success story. I mean, they had the funds, they had the approval of the residents of the community, and they were just rocking and rolling, getting it going. So we've got this beautiful additional 8.5 miles because of that. So we're now a total of 18.5 miles, running from the train depot down in Venice all the way up Payne Park. So, get on in the middle, go for breakfast in Venice, come to Sarasota for your lunch and a little shopping.
Yeah, I absolutely love the trail.
Yeah.
So it's fantastic. So For some reason, I was thinking it was 20 plus miles or something. So it's 18.
Well, it's probably closer to 19. When you get down to the Venice Depot,
Okay.
there's the Venetian Waterway Trail.
Yep.
And if you continue south on that, you get another 4.5 to 5 miles, depending upon which side of the Intercoastal Waterway you're on. So, yes, there's over 20 miles that you can ride continuously without having to.
Yeah, I was raised in Venice, so I actually
Were you?
I was right there at Mission Valley and Laurel Road.
Okay.
So now, and then I moved away to Chicago for a couple of years and
Hey,
came back.
I'm from Chicago.
I'm
Hey,
from
isn't
Chicago.
everybody? Everybody.
I'm from Chicago. I just moved
really,
here from Chicago.
I was raised
Where-
in the south suburbs of Chicago. We currently have a home up there in New Lenox,
Oh,
which is
yeah, I
near
know,
Joliet.
yeah, yep.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I was in
Lennox.
Naperville,
He was
which,
in
which
Naperville?
doesn't count. It really doesn't count. It's
Yeah.
a little bubble city.
We're pretty close.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Palm
New
Beach
Lenox
City. We're
isn't
pretty
far from
close.
Yeah,
Naperville.
it's just-
I grew
it's
up
not
in
even-
Palatine.
Right.
part of
Okay.
Yeah, it's
Illinois.
all good.
But so being raised though down here in Venice, so right there on Laurel Road, and when I came back, they actually had a legacy trip because it was train tracks,
Sure.
and then it went over the
Yeah.
road, and now I was like, what's that fantastic thing? It's the Legacy Trail, all the way from Sarasota, all the way up
Venice.
here to downtown.
We consider that Mount Laurel on the trail because it's
The
probably-
highest point.
Well, there's a really legacy mountain also down over 41. That's our two bridges. Actually, that's a new thing. That's something that's happening beginning this fall yet, is they're going to begin construction on those types of bridges over Clark Road and Bee Ridge roads. And so that will be a little over a year of construction is what I
So
understand.
those are going over the
There
roads?
will be overpasses over those streets. I mean, that's
That's
6,
great.
7, 8 lanes of traffic
Yeah.
and
Right.
sidewalk and so forth. So it's
That would
very
make that'd be and not only a great feature for the Legacy Trail, but just a great visual feature. I like it's like a cool setup, right?
Yes.
To see it over
And
the
I
road.
think it'll make a lot of the people, the vehicles traveling those streets, a lot happier. There's just not a lot of. There's a little bit of a discussion between the cars and the vehicles about who's the cars and the bicycles about
Yeah.
who really has the right of way and so forth. And just taking them over and letting traffic flow is going to be so much easier. Right now we have a situation where the bicyclists will push a button and it will eventually change the lights and the cars have to stop to let bicycles go. And there's confusion whenever the bikes that you can see have passed about, well, can I go now? And,
Yeah.
and people believe they can. But what the bicycles are seeing as they are approaching those streets is the important part, because there's a countdown just like at a pedestrian crossway.
Mm-hmm.
And those cyclists are seeing the countdown, and it could be at 20,
Right.
25, those kinds of numbers. And you can see that for quite a distance. And it's just in the nature of an individual who doesn't want to stand there and wait to cross the
try
street.
to get in front of
I've
that
got
train.
20 seconds.
gonna
I've
get
got
on it.
15
Get in front of
seconds. So they don't just get across. They're pushing it to try and get up there. And they're not thinking that they have to watch for a car that decides that it has to go. Cars need to stop and
Yeah.
know that there could be bicycles coming until that light changes back to
Right.
green.
Just because the guy's not standing there with
Right.
his bike doesn't mean there's not one coming up.
Absolutely. That
Yeah.
crowd is not the only
Yeah,
one.
and this-
So.
Well, this is probably pretty extreme, but I mean, anything like gates or to come
Well,
down. I mean, maybe
the-
that's more extreme. It's not a train.
Yeah,
but
the
it would-
overpasses are going to be the big
But
solution.
that would totally solve that
the
issue. Yeah.
The
those have
overpass,
always been
yeah.
planned. But there's still going to be those kinds of crossings that people need to be mindful of. And I know it's irritating to have to come to a stop when you're in a hurry, but bikes and cars have to learn to exist on these areas.
And what I found too, though, anything that's really, really cool, and like there's so much going on in Sarasota, and all these great features and things like the Legacy Trail.
Mm-hmm.
But no matter what it is, not everyone's going to be happy. Like you're always going to have someone that's going to be like, "Well, I hate to stop, and why do we have to stop for those?" But the bigger good is the fact that there's a Legacy Trail.
Right.
It's huge. It's fantastic. I go out there and bike and run all the time, and you've got, well, you know what you have, but you've got the bike stations. So if your
Right.
bike breaks
Yeah.
down, like every mile or so, you've got an entire barrage of pumps and things that you can do.
Yep.
Restrooms.
Yeah, we were lucky with the new section because they had the funds to build it with bathrooms, flushing toilets along the trail. So
cool.
there's quite a few very nice parks that were added.
Is that the
to
name of the fundraising event?
No.
Flushing.
the
flushing
flushing
toilets.
Flushing
yeah.
toilets along the trail.
Along
But
the
part of
trail.
the project allowed them the funds to put in toilets, facilities
Yeah,
that you
that's
can,
priceless. I mean,
wash
it's
your hands,
fantastic.
get a drink of
Because
water.
then you can make a day of it.
Right,
Like you really
right.
can go down to Venice
Right.
and not try to fit it in and make it back, or,
Yeah.
or wait till you get down there to go to the restroom.
Those
you know?
were not included in the original construction of the first 10 miles. They have, however, added a trailhead at Bay Street down in Osprey with a lovely park there, and it also has toilets and parking and so forth. So
Awesome.
I would like to encourage anyone who needs information about Friends of the Legacy Trail to go to our website.
That was my
Yep,
question.
that
Well, how did they
segue,
get
she's
on?
right in there. She's a
She's
professional.
segueing.
She knows exactly.
She's segueing herself out
Yep.
of that chair because my question was going to be, before
And-
you leave,
Yeah.
give us all that
Yeah, and
information.
it sounds probably getting pretty hot on her back.
I'd like
yeah,
to
that's yeah.
push our
Sorry.
membership
Figure that
a
out.
little bit. The Friends of the Legacy Trail membership for a year is $15 for an individual and $20 for a family, and that's actually the money that we rely on to keep our bills paid and to get keep our operations moving forward. We sell T-shirts, which we have here today. They're $25 for a short sleeve and $30 for a long sleeve. They're good quality. We also have a program. It's called Square Feet, and that was started when we were working on the referendum project. One of our board members, who is brilliant after seeing what he has done with this, created a program that allows you to donate a square foot of trail for $25. These are wonderful for the upcoming holidays. I encourage you to look us up if you need something so you don't have to bake cookies for the neighbors or the people in the office. Instead, you don't have to buy a bottle of wine different from the one you gave them last year. Get them a square foot on the Legacy Trail.
Make a
It's
good closing gift, too.
Yeah. It's a wonderful
Yeah, closing gift.
Kind of a nice closing gift for
there you
real
go.
estate. Yeah.
And especially if they're near the Legacy
live
Trail, they
there,
need
yeah.
to know
Yeah,
it's there.
especially, yeah.
You're a realtor, so you
I am.
understand the value of that.
Yep, and as well, and a mortgage
I'm a
broker
mortgage
too.
broker,
So when
and
they close as
when
well,
they
you
close,
can
I
provide that as well.
Yeah.
So that's membership, and we've got Square Feet, and we've got our T-shirts, and all of them are available on our website, which is friendsofthelegacytrail.org. And we have maps that you can print out. You'll find out where the parking areas are for the trail. There's a wealth of information. If you're even interested in the history of how this all came about,
Absolutely.
that's where you're going to find it. So-
Perfect. Perfect. Well,
Awesome.
thank you so much for coming
Thanks
on
for
and sharing
coming
that
over.
with us.
Well, thank
Appreciate
you.
it.
Yeah, and I use it every day.
Good.
And love it, and it's a safe place with,
Yeah.
with lighting and it just adequate width. I mean,
Yeah.
many people can use it at the
Yeah.
same time, and
Yeah.
it's fun, and I just feel safe using it. It's-
Yeah. Well, and it's a
did a great
delightful
job.
way to get to the different communities. And going south,
Right.
you've got the
Watch, it's got the bubble. Watch it.
the
coming in.
Venetian Waterway is an extension of us. But once you get up to the end here in the northern section, Payne Park or Fruitville Road, you've got access to the Ringling protected bike lanes that the city of Sarasota has put in,
Yep.
which will get you safe travel
To home.
To down-
down to
Downtown.
downtown to the bayfront,
That's
which
where I
is
go.
wonderful to ride. You
Right.
can get over on Ringling Bridge and go over to Longboat Key, which has lovely bike lanes, safe bike lanes, and so forth. So the extension is way more than our 18 or 19 miles. I mean, you've got different directions. Big important one is the one that goes out to Northport also. So you can get off the trail in Nokomis and take a route that goes all the way into downtown Northport on your bicycle.
Awesome.
Awesome.
Awesome. Well, definitely we'll check
Thanks.
out the site and find out where that. I want to see where that extension is at actually. And thank you. Keep on going.
Happy to
Keep-
talk to you
Yeah.
anytime.
All
Okay,
right.
thank
yeah,
you.
please.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Good.
Wow.
One
See?
for one.
Yeah, so you know
Look at
that's
that.
great. See, so I use it all the time.
Right.
I mean, I'm on it all the time. Now I'm not going fast. Nothing impressive.
Not more than 15 miles.
Yeah. Well, believe me, I think I don't think I
as
go more
long
than
as you
5.
stay in the right lane. If you're
Stay.
going slow,
Hey, but if
remember, left
it's
lane
not
for
the
passing.
Autobahn. Yeah, it's not. It's not the Autobahn of bike trails.
Yeah.
So no, that was fantastic. A lot of good information there. So if anyone wants to find out about that, go to the website, check out. I'm sure they stay up with what's going on, now and what's going to happen in the future up there.
Sounds good.
So fantastic.
All right. Let's
All right.
take a break, and we're going to see if we can get another nonprofit
Scott,
over here.
going out there and grab
I'm
somebody
going.
else.
I'm out of here.
All right.
Bye.
Stay classy.